Hell yeah. Look, man. Welcome back to another episode of The Prescription. Let me take this other head part of the headphone off so I can hear myself talk. Welcome to another episode of The Prescription. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get right to it. I always hear about 48 laws of power and I always hear niggas say, oh, I'm using the 48 laws of power, but I don't really think most people actually know what the fuck they're talking about. See, I got a problem with us when I get this type of content right here. As far as the prescription, is simply taking deep dives and deep cuts at things that you know things that I like to spotlight, certain problems that people may overlook, things like that, right? So I think it's a problem when us as a people, we learn something but we use it against our own. You know what I'm saying? I think what's even more fucked up is people, you know, um, reading these books of, these Machiavellian style books of, whatever, and not using them in the correct way. You know what I'm saying? Don't know how to, or just misusing them without any context or nuance. And when you do that, it turns negative. So I think I'm going to take at least 4 or 5 laws today, and I'm going to break those down when it comes to the internet and how I see and just what I see and what I observe. A lot of the prescription is for the most part what I just observe and what I see. You know what I'm saying? There is no wrong, there is no right. There just is. You feel what I'm saying? So I do want to start about some of those who don't know what the 48 laws are, right? Um, the 48 Laws of Power it's a book by Robert Greene. It has captivated millions of people. It's very blunt, unapologetic. It's somewhat of a exploration of power dynamics or exposure of power dynamics. Most influential figures offering insight into how power is gained and maintained and lost. But right now, the problem is with me, right? The problem that I see is that too many people on the internet latch on to its provocative laws without grasping the concept or the depth or the nuance behind them. You know, so when you only skim the surface of Greene's work, the 48 laws become somewhat of a checklist of manipulative tactics to deploy at will, right? A sort of power hacks, quote unquote, for um, a power hack manual for social dominance, kind of like power for dummies type shit, you know. And this shallow interpretation, it distorts the book's original intention, right? Which is it isn't just about ruthless behaviors or better yet, it's not just about ruthless manipulation, but it's more about being able to understand the complex human behaviors and motivations and the cost of power, more intrinsic and extrinsic values, and kind of Euro stepping in between each laws. You know what I'm saying? Now, the power is a double-edged sword, and Robert Greene's laws, they often come with implicit warnings that nobody ever talks about. They just talk about the laws. They don't talk about the warnings, the implicit warnings that about the consequences, the timing, and the of ethical ambiguity that casual readers overlook. And that's something that that I see when I heard niggas talking about 48 laws of power. I'm gonna use law number 1. I'm like, bro, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, um, so we're going to talk about the oversimplification of human behaviors, right? Misuse leads to backfire, ethical blind spots, false sense of mastery, right? And so we're going to get right into it, right? I don't want this to be a long, drawn out video. So number 1, the oversimplification of complex human dynamics. Now, Each law in Robert Greene's book was born from nuanced situations, right? Historical chess games of personality, time, and the consequences. And when people boil these laws down to bite-sized social media quotes or quote unquote power moves, niggas love to make power moves. I'm making the power move. I'm having motion. Here, there. They miss the complexity of it. Example. I do have examples for everyone. Law number one, never outshine the master. Now, when you take this law superficially, some might even try to downplay their own achievements or intentionally dim their light in toxic ways. And online, excuse me, excuse me, in the internet space, because that's what I always look at is how does these things I look at apply in the internet space, right? Um, this looks like someone constantly minimizing themselves or groveling to a more influential person for favor, which comes off as inauthentic and weak instead of humble, or being strategically humbled in some type of way. Now, conversely, some others, some niggas are going to weaponize this by sabotaging or tearing down others to avoid outshining them, and it just breeds envy and distrust rather than an alliance. I think some of the best things come from being aligned with people who um are the same mind. If everybody's trying to get over on everybody, didn't want nothing get done, we'll be still in the same place, which is where we've been for damn near 100 years. And go, what I'm saying, or 50, 60, 70 years. It's gotten worse every decade because we can't figure out how to come together because all these things, although they have been put within these neighborhoods and these spaces where we frequent to destroy and divide us, once we start having the information to actually know, we don't want to listen to it. We done got caught up in the mix. You know what I'm talking about? So number two, the misuse and the backfire. These power tactics without context lead to failure. Now, a lot of these laws, they depend heavily on timing and subtlety. Excuse me. And without the understanding and the context, I see people try to use these laws all the time. Like if you know what you're looking for, you can kind of see. You can go online and you can see it. And I sit in some of these chats and I just see it like, oh, okay, they trying to, you know what I'm saying? And it's weird, you know. And one law I always see people using, and people some of the things that I've heard being said by some of these content creators who kind of expose their hand is law number 6, court attention at all costs. Now the people that have a surface level understanding of what this law is they use this. They take to this to be loud, provocative, and controversial, no matter what, at all costs. Flooding social media with ridiculous ass hot takes, outrageous posts, or even attention-seeking drama. And I want to key in on that 3-letter, not 3-letter, but that 3-word, little whatever right there, that attention-seeking drama. Majority of what's on the internet is attention-seeking drama. Now, while it might generate short-term engagement, it often damages credibility and burns bridges with peers or audiences in the long term. Excuse me, in the long term. I'm starting to wonder if subscribers even care about credibility anymore. It's starting to be one of those things where them people who somebody be on the block or somebody be on the street and they be having the most money and all that shit cool, but they a rat. And everybody know they a rat. It's paperwork proving that they a rat. You know what I'm saying? But nobody cares no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the care? Nobody care about him. Nobody care about him being a rat. They just care about him having racks. Or he got the most money on the block. Or you know what I'm saying? And nobody care about You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to think that people are caring less about credibility, and actually looking at bodies of work when it comes to the internet. You know, away from the views, they just look at, oh, he got the most views, he must be whatever. When it just couldn't be furthest from the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think people take um a deep look at a lot of these content creators and who they really are and what they've really done. You feel what I'm saying? To understand who they're following off in the sense, you know. And the first time you'll do that, you're under like, oh my God, like who is this nigga? You don't understand, you know, because we really don't know. But I think we all should know because these people are leading rooms and groups of people, and what direction are you being led in? You know what I'm saying? It's some who, you know, you can say you in a, you know, whatever, and you still have your own mind. You just fuck with whoever you fuck with. But there's some people who actually dive into this shit and be, just really be ready to die and do 100 years over their favorite content creator. You know what I'm saying? All type of shit. And it's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Or even been a part of, just seeing niggas doing all type of shit, making theme songs, and niggas done, did a whole lot just for the attention of who, you know. Now, a lot of number 6 and 15 kind of have a correlation with crush your enemy totally. This is also another law which is frequently misinterpreted as just ruthless aggression. You understand? But in reality, um, I believe that Robert Greene is referring to strategic decisiveness to prevent future retaliation. You know, now when you online, this law becomes an excuse for all arguing, all the petty online feuds, all the toxic shit that goes on, and all this pump faking. It can just what's the word I'm looking for? Looking for a word here. Escalate. Yeah, it can escalate negativity without real resolution. Nobody ever wants to solve a problem. Everybody just loves the problem because the problems and the conflicts bring you numbers. So if you if you really come to a resolution, then the person who trying to cause these problems, do these problems, won't never get no. You know what I'm saying? Like some people's whole platform is based on having problems, causing drama, dealing with drama, never coming to a resolution. They keep it up because it keeps, you know what I'm saying? They kind of feed with it, you know. Now 3 is this. This is many readers weaponize this book in a weird way. Um, the book kind of presents power as amoral, right? Neither good nor evil, but many readers they weaponize it without reflecting on morality or consequence. You know, for instance, one law that deals with this that I plucked out because I read this book twice. You know, I read it, in a physical form and did audio book. So, law number 3 stands out to me when we deal with this is concealing your intentions. Now, on social media, this shit might manifest as a secretive manipulation, gaslighting or covert attacks that won't. Hmm, it erodes trust in communities. That's why it's hard to find a positive black community on like in the online space because niggas be trying to do some weird shit. They be trying to play little mind games, and the internet is a weird place. It's a weird dystopian double-edged sword that I get to. I have to record that later on because that's something that I've been wanting to get to for a minute. But um, these power tactics become standard procedure, and authenticity and transparency they kind of give way to paranoia. You don't really know who's who because doing the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, for people who create content um with the purpose and the vision in mind, they'll be more relaxed and calm. You know what I'm saying? Or just they won't try to force the issue. You know, sometimes in these spaces, shit can get very toxic, and that toxic environment where people expect deception as the norm is something that you should not be in if you are a certain type of content creator. You feel what I'm saying? Making genuine connections in these spaces are virtually, and it's nearly not even virtually, but it's fucking impossible. You know, and what you get in resort is a fractured online culture of suspicion and manipulation. You know what I'm saying? When the shit stop being genuine, people just look forward to trying to play. It's a big game to niggas. Oh, I just want to run the play so I can get this and get that and get this and get that. It becomes a big game, and then nobody trusts each other. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, that's not conducive to being positive or just having a positive community in an environment that really needs that. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of folks are less social than they ever been. And when you go online, they look for communities. That's why I always try to, do my content in a different way, because I just want this to be the foundation of a healthy community. And I want to build on that. You feel what I'm saying? With good people. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird though. It's weird. So I think I got one more, right? As we close now, I got about 10 minutes left. So the last one is this: it's false mastery and uh emotional um hmm, damn it, I should have wrote this shit down. False mastery and emotional immaturity. There we go. Come on, Brian. It's early in the morning. I'm recording this, so don't worry about it. Emotional immaturity. Now, many people, they mistake having a surface knowledge of all these laws as true power of mastery. So they tend to adopt cold and aggressive postures, and there's a whole lot of posturing and weird shit that niggas be doing. You can tell, you can almost tell when they start rolling, like, oh, he must be doing that 48 laws of power shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he out here moving, he moving weird, but like I said before, it's almost like you can see it once you get context and nuance of it. You can kind of see, like, oh, these niggas are doing some shit that's, what I'm saying. It's like being able to watch film in the football. You play football. You watch film, and when you finally see what you've been watching on film in the game, it's like, oh, I know where he gonna go. I'm gonna meet him in the, what I'm saying. I'm gonna meet him right there. I'm gonna beat him to the spot. You feel what I'm saying? The same shit. So Law 33 is one that's also kind of it stood out to me as well, which is it is discover each man's thumb screw, right? So misunderstood, this can encourage people to exploit others' weaknesses without any empathy or just insight. Now, when you online, this kind of looks like targeted harassment, doxing, or exploiting personal vulnerabilities to win arguments. I think that might be the most important one, in my opinion. I'm gonna say it again: discover each man's thumb screw. When misunderstood, this can encourage people to exploit others' weaknesses without empathy or insight. And this looks like targeted harassment, doxing, or exploiting personal vulnerabilities to win arguments. Scratching, you don't borrow somebody's, oh, your mama dead. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Or your daddy, you had, you know what I'm saying? Or it just all type of shit that just, it's weird when I see us do that to each other. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's entertaining, because once you understand what it is, once you understand, oh, this is a surface level shit, And, sometimes you feel like being service level. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes you feel like God damn it, you can't be high vibration all motherfucking day. It's like gotta be low vibration and shit. But you watching it with an intent of this is interesting. I'm studying this shit. Like when I be watching this shit, I literally be studying this shit just to watch um the destruction of our communities in every facet of life, whether it's in real life or whether it's on the internet. We just can't get right, and we miss out on so much money and so many opportunities because we argue with each other. Meanwhile, the Mr. Beast and the Logan and Jay Pauls and all the people that they be praising, you know what I'm saying, making billions of dollars off content, and niggas is stuck just feeding off of crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Just want to make crumbs and then try to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird to me. Like if niggas get together and you know what I'm saying, we can bring in so much money and nobody got to step on nobody's toes. But when you fall in these communities, everybody's doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And nobody doing nothing different. And it's almost like, well, it's not almost like, it's just like once you do something different, once you draw the line and being different, you get boxed out because you're different. And people try to, well, why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? Like, I ain't never asked no musical artist or no art, oh, why did he just do it like this? No, that's what he wanted to fucking do. You know what I'm saying? You can either respect him for it, like him for it, or get the fuck on. But in these communities, they don't have that. And that's why I say everybody that's in the communities, whether it's on Reddit, YouTube, Twitter, it don't matter. When you join these communities, you are most likely to be subject to motherfucking groupthink. You know what I'm saying? And the person who the free thinker gonna be like, I ain't fucking with this shit. Oh well, you know what I'm saying? They're like, it's weird. I can't quite put a finger on it. It's early in the morning. I'm doing this out the dribble. This was on my mind all night. But it almost makes it seem like you're the person that's in the wrong when you really are in the right because you have your own mind. I always say God gave us everything distinct down to our fingerprint. So why would you want to be anything and do anything else when you can be you? You know what I'm saying? He shaped and sculpted you to do what you supposed to be, but you too busy doing what everybody else is doing and worried about everybody else's. That your food getting cold. And true power really requires emotional maturity and patience. You understand what I'm saying? And this matters because power is relational, and it isn't just about what you do. It really depends on how others respond. So a surface level understanding of any of these books, The Art of War, 48 Powers, with all that shit, it kind of ignores the reciprocity and the long-term consequences of wielding power poorly. The fact that we gotta deal with motherfucking social media, it does do anything, but it just amps up these misunderstandings, and it amps it up by rewarding sensationalism for quick grabs and influence and subs and shit. And it's weird. It's just weird. But so, in my opinion, I close out. I got about 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. 48 Laws of Power is not a viral checklist, or a weapon for online posturing. It's a really deep book, and it's a good book, but it's a deep and often uncomfortable meditation on human nature. And that's what I see the book as. It's human nature and influence. And when you got somebody who only has a surface level view, surface level weaponization on the internet. It leads to fractured communities, lost opportunities, and emotional burnouts. And that real power demands more than just knowing the laws or finding a quote or just trying to get all the laws down. Oh, I'm gonna use this on my nigga today. I'm gonna let them before this, type shit. It all this shit really it demands wisdom. It demands wisdom. That's what it does, you know. So hopefully you'll see something today. I hope this, spark some engagement, spark some feedback, because I want to know what y'all think about, the 48 laws. As far as people trying to use them, only having a surface level understanding of what they really are, and then what you see out in the internet, what you see out there, I think that's very important, right? So that being said, man, my job is done here. I just had to get that off my mind, and kind of get it out. If I didn't get it out, I was gonna forget it, and I didn't want to forget it. So, in the meantime, man, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe, Trill Gaming on Twitch, on YouTube. Y'all also make sure that y'all go follow me on every platform. Damn near, I'm out there. Go find me. All them links is on my bios on every platform. So go find me there, and make sure also you go to the subscription. No, the prescription. It's still early. The prescription on Substack. Go holler at me right there, man. I'm Trill Pill. I'm gone, man. I'm out of here. Give me that feedback. For sure.